Hello, guys. Welcome to our channel. We're Anna from Russia and Maria from Mexico. Nice to meet you. And we're going to talk about reframing. I think it's pretty underestimated thing, which we're not use often. And we're going to use a quote from Oprah Winfrey, who actually doing the same thing. She wants people to be themselves more, and she's doing a lot of content for this. Reframing is
Uh-huh.
the thing when we change attitude about the situation from negative to the better view. For example, you said there was a pretty high rain yesterday and you couldn't even leave your car and you was scared of this thunder and these lines
The
and
lightning
all.
bolts. Yeah.
Maybe you thought it's inconvenience, this rain and everything. But if we try to reframe it, you're not dying from these high temperatures.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
It's a good thing because the temperatures drop and we don't have this intense heat, and the temperature actually is like perfect, like 25 Celsius or 28 Celsius. So for intense heat, I prefer 100% these because of the storms. I like the storms as long as I am safe home. I hate them when I am driving and I cannot see anything because of the rain and the lightning bolts and the thunders are so loud. Yeah, but okay. Yeah. I prefer this, that intense heat.
Yes, so this is showing one of the ways to interpret things. But if we feel like we're not good enough or we're mediocre, whatever, because we keep comparing ourselves with others, this tool is pretty useful because by doing this comparison with others and all, and putting ourselves down, we make ourselves weaker, mentally weaker. Let's read the quote of Oprah Winfrey. The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. What do you think about this quote?
Well, I think it's not a new thing. And yet we are not paying attention to it. So I think it's right. It's the attitude is everything, and it is very interesting how the attitude, like how can you there have been experiments on how people react to the same situation, different people to the same situation, and how depending on the attitude of each person the outcome can be completely different from the same situation. So it is, I think the attitude is the best ingredient when you are trying to succeed at something, but it's the best ingredient if you know how to use it well. So I think yeah, it's definitely it's definitely a good thing to have a good attitude. When things get out of control, then the attitude, if it's well trained, that is like the most important piece of this puzzle, in life. So how you react when things are not under control, when you don't have things under control. So it's very good to have a good attitude. It's not easy. I think it's one of the most difficult things in life, to have a control over your attitude instead of wanting to control the outside world. um, yeah, so it and more like nowadays is very difficult because we, like you said before, we love to be comparing ourselves to others. Like, oh, that
Mhm.
person is going like whatever, he or she did something and I haven't done at my age and whatever. So that is that is like a thing we need to take real care to pay attention to it, because that makes our attitude to get like to just screw us. So it's very we need to pay attention to that, not comparing to each other, and yeah, work on that. It's hard, but it's not impossible.
And it's hard, and at the same time, this is a simple thing that we can do,
Yeah.
because
Yes.
it's not take you that much energy to reframe the situation,
Hmm.
uh, but it defines the way how you think. You think small or you think big, and this is the real power.
Hmm.
We can about our grannies. My granny was a tomboy, as I said before to you. You were laughing about it.
Uh-huh.
Really, she did everything like guys did, with more energy and passion, and she never sit straight. She she always did a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
So yes, and with age she became calmer, but she saved this love to the life. Everything that she does it with interest, with enthusiasm.
That's amazing. That is amazing. Actually, it's wonderful that someone like your grandma is like, usually we tend to think that as we grow older, we kind of, oh,
Mhm.
we don't have energy. We just, you know, I think that nowadays there is this hurry to make everything on the early ages. So once it happened to me, I was in a class, and a lot of young women were there, and also more mature women, like not old, but kind of mature women were also there. And we were discussing like several topics and blah, blah, blah. And so these young girls that recently got married, many of them, and they started saying like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm gonna do when I have like, if I have children, I won't have time for for a lot of stuff. And they were like thinking out loud, so to say, like how they would manage the time when they have children. And so basically they wanted to do everything before they had children. And I remember this mature woman, and I liked what she said, because she was like, uh, she told this, especially one girl, she said to her like, you know what? Like, I have kids, like, I have children. They are now grown ups, going to university, and some of them just, living their lives in another country, blah, blah, blah. And she said to this girl that there is always time, like, there will be time for what you want when your children get older as well. Like, you don't need to hurry everything right now. Like, there will be time, and believe me, you will miss your children very much when they grow up and they get out of your house and they just continue with your life. So she basically said to this girl that there is time for everything. You don't need to do everything right now. There is no need to hurry. So it is also good that when you grow older, you have this passion for life, or this, it's like our grandmas. I think it's a very healthy thing that they are still interested in things, and that is amazing. I think it's a gift. It's a real gift. Yeah, because how many old people, they just grow older and they just don't care anymore about life, and your grandma and my grandma, for example, yeah, they are very interested, and they know a lot. And your grandma, you told me the other day that she went onto the roof to fix something, and I was like,
Something to talk
what?
about. Yes.
Yes, so that is, to me, that is just wonderful that they have this energy and this curiosity for life, even at their age. That is, I think that is the key. Like that is an attitude that can get you grow older and healthier. It's amazing.
I agree with you. It's just fascinating how they can manage their power and energy, and there are really good examples that's in front of us. Uh, and I remember when I was a teenager, I was like something very gloomy and with
Really?
full of negative thoughts. And my grandmother, look, there is sun, there is, you can take a leaf, there is a flower.
So
And
she
I
was the
was
one, she was the one like you know, keeping you happy or some trying to at least.
at least she was showing me the way of life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And
It-
it's amazing. Yes, it is
yeah.
amazing. And how they I remember that when we once I made a trip with my grandma, and it was wonderful because I was a teenager and I didn't realize like okay, she was my grandma and I had a great time with her. It was amazing, but to me it was like normal, like okay, I am traveling with my grandma, so what? It's like no big deal, it's wonderful. But I remember that we took a tour, and in that tour, there were many old couples, like celebrating their 45th anniversary of marriage and all that stuff. And wow. And
How
they
nice.
all, yeah, I was like, because I was a teen, so I was like, oh my God. So yes, even now that I'm old, I'm like still shocked. But so the point is that they were so shocked, shocked in a good way, like, oh my God, you are traveling with your grandma. I hope that one day I will get to travel with my grandchildren. And another lady told me, like, I hope that when my grandson grows up, his mom will just let me travel with him. Or And I was like, wow, that's weird. So then I started to realize how important it was. So it's very interesting how we have different attitudes toward life, and we don't realize until others come to us and tell us, hey, like, hello, this is your attitude somehow, you know. So it's very interesting how you can change. And sometimes I think the most difficult part of this, of changing your attitude, is when you think you have a, especially when you think you have a good attitude towards life. When you think
Mhm.
that you are in control and you are like, okay, I'm perfect with life, whatever. And then someone comes to us and tells us, actually, your attitude looks like this, and it's completely different to what you thought it was like. And that is very difficult, because when you think that you're like, ah, yeah, I rock, and I'm just like, oh, wow, amazing, and then others come to you and tell you, you know, it looks like this, then it is hard to accept, you know, when we're trying. And I don't know, it's hard, but it's good also. And of course, a lot of people can tell you that you have a, you know, a bad attitude when you really have a good attitude, and they just tell you that out of envy or whatever. So also be careful with that, like who you listen to, because you can literally change your whole life by listening to the wrong people. That is
Yeah.
also,
But we need critical thinking.
yeah, of course. That, of course. Yeah.
So watch the video right
Please.
here
Yeah.
or there.
Or here.
Why we remember about our grannies is because they're not only high source of inspiration, there are also people who went through tougher life than we have right now, and they not only saved this attitude by, but they actually amazing. They are happy with every day. when my grandmother was sick, she had a lot of different diseases, but she saved this attitude. And when my mother was going out of the home, grandmother said, "My TV show starts. I will go and watch this. And while I'm watching this, I will prepare something for dinner. I will do something." So it's just amazing how person
Yeah,
managed.
yeah, I think
My mother even was a little offended by this. Like, the grandmother always wanted to take care of my mother, uh, so she look good when she's going out. But this the other time she just go and watch her favorite show and doing something for herself.
uh, yes, I think it's I think our grandparents are the last generation of tough people, like really
Mhm.
tough people. Like they could endure a lot emotionally, physically, everything. And yeah, probably because of the situations that they had to leave. And it's amazing how they can. And also I think it has to do something with this feeling of religion of God, that okay, there is someone higher that is taking care of us. I think that also give, well, I've seen that in my family, with my grandma, with my so I am talking from my personal view, of course, but I still think that it's better that way. It gives you kind of another kind of strength, because nowadays we have been taught that okay, the only person you can trust is yourself. The only person that can do everything is yourself. The only person, and so we have been trained to think that way, that when something comes very hard to our lives, that some issue, some problems, whatever, and we cannot face this situation like as we would like to face it, then our world, our little world, comes to the ground, because we have been taught like you are the only one you can trust, and like you are your own god, so to say. And to me, that is pretty much like, first of all, is it's kind of overwhelming. It's an overwhelming feeling when you are thinking that you are the only one. Like, come on, of course not. And I think it does. It's like a bit stupid, because then how are you going to, to be better if you are on the ground and you have nothing but yourself to rely on? It's like, come on, let's be real. So I think that that part of, trusting and putting your trust in God, and so it gives you a strength. At least that is what I've seen with my grandparents and with the people back then. They had this kind of, they lived so many difficult things, and yet they were like, oh, everything will be fine. It's just like a part of life, and we will just somehow uh, we will be fine. So that kind of attitude is amazing, because it gives you strength. Really, it's yeah.
Yes, and I think watching people who have such attitude also makes you
Yes,
feel better and think about situation differently.
yes,
Yeah, maybe if we're not used to reframe things, we can just remember about somebody who already thinking in the way that we want and just try to think that way.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
It helps to have someone, probably that it's better to have someone that that can help you change your way of looking at things, like to reframing to. It is helpful, I think, because and also be careful of how we act, because I am sure that at least there is one person looking at us, and how we, how we manage the difficult situations or whatever. And yeah, so it's good to be an example and to take examples from the people that help, that we think they will help. So we need to learn.
And for this, we have a community. So we could help each other, push each other sometimes, and otherwise makes each other relax. We just need to learn rely on others, not for everybody, not every time, but sometimes when we need this, we don't need to just uh, build a wall between us, because it makes them feel like you're not close enough or you can't trust them, something like this.
Yes. And also it helps to connect with others and to know that at least there is one person that wants to help us, and that is a good feeling that I think we are losing over time. We have been losing over time. So it's good to know that you have someone to rely on, at least in difficult times. It's fine. We don't need to have everything under control all the time. So yeah, we should add the trust. To trust, I think the trust is a very good feeling.
Yes.
I think this is it for today. This is all for today, and we hope that you really like it. We are building our community, and we hope that soon enough you will be part of it, if you want, of course. And yeah, so see you next time.
Yes, see you next time and have a good day or night wherever you are.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.